Hello and welcome to Blooming Where You Are Planted. My name is Andrea-Dawn, and I am the creator of this podcast and a creator of a series called Blooming Moms, which is a collection of guides that help moms during their pregnancy and through postpartum. As an introduction, this podcast was born from a very real place in my life, not from a business plan, not from a perfectly timed idea, but from a season that I found myself standing in. And I like the phrase blooming where you are planted, and it's always stayed with me because it doesn't ask us to wait for better circumstances. It doesn't ask us to wait for tomorrow or a different version of ourselves or a place where we feel more secure. It's asking us something quieter. It's asking us something harder, actually, which is, what does blooming look like right here, right now, where I'm at? What would that blooming look like for me? And it began for me in the season of motherhood, or me becoming a grandmother, I should say. Specifically, it began during my daughter's pregnancy, her first one, where she expressed a desire to try a home birth. And as a mother watching her step into this experience, and as a nutritional herbalist, I knew how imminent it was going to be for her to focus on nutrition, to nourish her body so that her and her baby would have the best possible outcome. I also knew it was important that food, not just food, but emotional support, information, confidence, building her confidence and her trust in her body, that her body knows what it needs to do. Well, I found myself returning to everything I knew about nutrition and pregnancy, not from fear, even though, being a first-time grandmother and watching your daughter go through that kind of does okay, you've got this, you can do it, I can do it. But it came more from a preparation, right? From the belief that when women are nourished and are informed, their bodies are capable of incredible things. And just to empower them to know that is where this idea came from. Like watching her go through that is where I started the series called the Blooming Moms Collection. This is actually where the podcast is going to begin. And it's going to talk about postpartum, birth, pregnancy, because these are some of the most profound moments of blooming a woman can. And now my daughter is pregnant again. And this time she's carrying forward the knowledge she already gained. I'm watching her step into this new pregnancy with more confidence, more trust, and more awareness, reminding me that blooming is not a one-time event. It happens in layers. It happens in cycles and in seasons. But I want to also share that this podcast is not going to only be about pregnancy, because there are women in different places, different seasons, different stages. And so blooming where you're planted is the umbrella. It's a space where we will explore what blooming can look like in many different chapters of life. I mean, we'll talk about blooming after loss. That's something that's near and dear to me. I lost a husband early on in my life. I lost a fiance, and you're asked to grieve before you can grow. We'll talk about blooming after abuse, when reclaiming yourself is the bravest form of growth that you can do. We'll talk about blooming in love, and I love this one because it's not just about romantic love. It's about falling back in love with yourself, your body, your home, and the world around you. We'll talk about blooming in different seasons of life, blooming in midlife, blooming as a grandma, blooming without marriage, blooming without children, blooming when your path looks nothing like what you thought it would. Blooming is not one story, it's not one timeline, and it's not reserved for a certain age, relationship status, or life circumstance. This podcast is an invitation to explore what growth can look like now, wherever you find yourself planted. And so some episodes will be gentle reflections, some will be educational, some will feel like conversation you didn't know you needed. But all of them are going to come back to one truth. You're not broken, and you're not behind, and you don't need to become someone else. Wherever you are, this is where we begin. And I'm certainly glad you're here with me. I appreciate you joining me in this journey of blooming, and I can't wait for our next episode to see where we go. Thank you.